Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this week's video, I'm going to challenge myself to speak English in my video. For some of you guys who have already watched my previous video, you guys must already know that I'm Chinese educated and I speak Chinese at house. So I force myself to speak English in my YouTube videos, and hopefully it will help with my English speaking skill. And I understand that some of you guys actually who doesn't understand Mandarin, who actually watch my video and have been supporting me. I know that you guys are trying to understand what I'm trying to convey by reading the subtitle I wrote myself, and I really hope that you guys can understand my English in this video. So without further ado, let's jump into today's topic, which is how I improve myself during this lockdown. The year 2020 is kind of like a holiday for me because I don't really have to sit in any medical exam. The only thing that I have to worry about is just my research and also my thesis. Therefore, I kind of feel like I finally have the time to do something I like binge watching Netflix series and playing games that I've always wanted to play during this lockdown. It just feels so good at the beginning. I do it like almost every day, and then I feel kind of bad afterwards because I feel that I'm not productive enough and I'm wasting my time and all. So then I try to make a glow up plan for myself so that I can improve myself during this quarantine. So the first thing in my list is reading. I've always hoped that I have the time to read, but I don't really read during my pre-clinical years because I have a lot of things to cover and most of my times are spent on lecture notes and also textbook. I was trying to study all of my lecture notes before my medical exam. Since most of us are under lockdown right now, as a student, I really think that we have no excuses to say that we don't have the time to read anymore because this actually doesn't apply anymore. And I really think that this is a good time for you to pick up the habit of reading. And I also realized that a lot of students like me are overly focused on what is being taught at school. Now, I'm not asking you guys to stop focusing on your studies. Acing in academic exam is great. You guys have to realize that there's actually a lot of things that is also important in our life, and I call them the life skill. Things like handling money, constructive conversation, self-care, and also critical thinking. These are not being taught in the school. So how do we actually pick up all these skills? One of the easiest way to do that is to read. You have to read, but not your textbook. Books like, you know what I'm saying, like all the non-fiction books and all the books that teaches you on like all the life skill that I mentioned just now. For starter, if you're trying to incorporate reading into your life, it's actually quite hard because I've already went through that, and I can say that it's quite hard because you have to like allocate some time and you have to tell yourself to be disciplined and you have to follow on your goals. Like let's say that, okay, I want to read 15 minutes per day. So you have to actually stick with that, and once you're comfortable with that, you can increase your reading duration from there. Means that you can slowly add up to 30 minutes and 45 minutes and 1 hour and so on. Just start small and you don't really have to force yourself to read a lot in a day at first, and then you slowly increase from there. For those who don't really have the time to read, you guys can go for articles, which is much shorter, like it's kind of like a summary of a book for me. And you guys can go for podcasts. One of the podcasts that I recommend is Jay Shetty's On Purpose, and it is free on Apple. It is a podcast about self-improvement, and actually they already have like 185 episodes. For me, I listen to podcasts when I'm doing my lab work to keep myself entertained and also to learn something from the podcast. So the next thing is exercising. I have not started exercise until I entered into medical school. The reason why I started exercising is one of my friends, she told me that I actually gained weight. At first, I don't really listen to her advice. When I was young, many people told me that I'm really skinny and I should eat more. Because of that, I don't really take care of my diet, and I think that, okay, no matter how much I eat, no matter what I eat, I'm still skinny. But I don't know why somehow in my college, I started to feel stressed out I think because of the stress, because I always feel that I'm in control since I always feel that I'm in control in my high school until I enter into college. College is quite stressful for me because I'm taking A-levels in college and I don't really find a healthy way to manage my stress. So how do I relieve my stress? I do that by binge eating. I eat a lot of things and I eat a lot of dessert. Looking back to the photo I've taken in college, I actually realized that I'm really like it's really obvious that I gained weight and all. I'm actually very grateful that my friend actually advised me on that, and it actually caused me to change myself and change my lifestyle to live a healthier life. To be honest, I don't really enjoy the process of exercising. I find it very stressful and I find it very uncomfortable for me. But the after results is quite satisfying. The after results is that you will feel confident physically and also mentally. And the third thing is to learn something new. Maybe you always wanted to learn how to cook or learn a new language, learn how to play an instrument, and learn how to code, and now is the time to actually do that. Learning something new doesn't necessarily have to be what I mentioned just now. You guys can learn something to improve your productivity, like learning how to manage your time, learning how to study in a more effective way, learning how to become more disciplined, or even learning how to learn something. I think if you want to be productive in your life, you have to learn how to learn things, because learning actually is quite a long process. If you have a way to actually shorten down the process, you will become more productive and you will save yourself a lot of time to do other stuff. And for me, I'm not really good at time management, so I try to improve myself on that. I watch different YouTube videos and I read a lot of books so that I can try to manage medical school and YouTube at the same time. So the last thing that I want to say about improving myself is try to do something that you've always wanted to do but you're too afraid to initiate it. The reason why is that is because you're not comfortable or you're too afraid to leave your comfort zone. If you feel uncomfortable doing something and you know that the thing that you are doing is actually helping you in the future or helping you in your career, remember that growth happens when you are doing things that you feel uncomfortable, that is out of your comfort zone. Also, try to open up and accept feedback from your friends or family. You might feel vulnerable at first, but this is the most effective way for you to improve yourself on what you are trying to achieve. And I also believe that fear is something that keeps you from improving into a better version of yourself. And I have to really admit that to overcome the fear, it actually requires a lot of courage and also determination to do it. So for me, I'm a shy person and I'm really afraid of public speaking and also speaking in front of the camera as well. And I've challenged myself to create a YouTube channel and force myself to speak in front of the camera. And yeah, I finally overcome the fear to speak in front of the camera and post my video on YouTube channel for everyone to see it. And right now it kind of feels like my comfort zone has expanded a little wider because I feel much comfortable speaking in front of the camera. And so I challenge myself again and I try to expand my comfort zone again by speaking a language that I'm not comfortable speaking in front of the camera and post them on YouTube. Why do I came to a decision to do that is because I've made a poll on my Instagram account saying that should I speak English or not, and most of my friends and most of the people that I know from YouTube, they say that I should probably try that. So yeah, here it is, and this will be the first video that I speak in English. So those are the things that I wanted to share in this video. Feel free to share your lockdown experience by commenting down below. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. My name is Catherine and I make videos about students' experience. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!